Hello all, it is I, the Deep Diver here, and I have a new video. This one over AI and voice. This will not be an entry into the voice starvation series, per se, but more of an offshoot. Because I've been seeing some things that make me a little disturbed and worried, to be 100% fair, honest with you. You see, I've been researching AI for a new book, not in any technical sense or expunging what possibly could happen. I have no idea. I'm not an AI engineer, and, well, being from the boonies, you don't know much about technology. I get by, but it takes me a while. It has handicapped me a little bit, but I'm trying to learn for the good of all. And there's a lot of questions about AI, what it means. And the one thing that really scares me isn't the AI girlfriends or boyfriends, AI partners, isn't about AI workers. It's the AI deep fakes. Now, what is a deep fake? It's a show. It's a performative weapon, to say the least, where you have the voice, likeness, and characteristics of a person doing or saying things that they normally wouldn't. Usually to enact trouble or get them into it. And I believe it was last year where I heard this news story where a former disgruntled employee of a school had made a higher up member of the school board be recorded saying some very nasty things. I not say them there. You can look it up. And it wasn't good, but it was so real. I mean, I felt something was off with it. The voice. Because I've studied the voice for a very long time. I see what's doing, you know. It didn't have any inflection hardly or any type of just little ticks people have, vocal ticks, I call them, or habits. And it turned out it was all sham. And I believe the person who did it was sent to jail or paid a heavy fine. And people shouldn't do that. It's not good. And I keep thinking, what are we doing going forward? Because I can still see AI being AI, but it's getting harder. It is getting harder and harder. They're getting good at it. And all they need is this: picture my face, my voice, how I talk. It makes a very immaculate impression of a person. And that's not good. That's not good. And something I've noticed, I remember, I'm gonna do a little bit of a Cliff's Notes version, but I've heard about Replica with a K, where a person was working on it, an engineer, so to speak, programming with their voice. The person in discussion was a woman, a female, and she would put her voice in. You hear her voice, you know. And then something very strange happened. That person had sadly passed away. Now, that's not the weird thing. That's not the thing that scares me. They were still using her voice. I'm like, what? Because I remember some years ago with the writer's strikes from Hollywood, a main thing was using AI, where Hollywood companies, movie studios, would pay somebody about $200, $300 to take a picture of their face in AI replica for their movies and use it in perpetuity. Which, that's one thing. That's one thing. All these faceless NBCs in the background you know, nobody would notice. But it's one to take somebody's image. It's quite another to take somebody's voice, though. It made me wonder, what is consciousness? What is voice? If it could be so easily impersonated and or improved, what happens? And I'll admit to you, this topic has led to a story or two I've been writing on, some of my short stories from my newsletter. And yeah, I know people's thoughts on this, but that scares me. I'm not AI. I'm very flawed, very ugly, very imperfect. And at least that's real. Because that's something I've learned. Because sometimes the mud's cleaner than the snow. Because mud's honest. Mud's dirty. Mud's not good to be around. But people get in it. People are around it. They know what they have to do. They have to get boots and stuff. Snow just falls from the sky. Anything can fall from the sky. Anything. And that made me think about it. Humans, people, are sometimes messy, dirty creatures. That's how we are. That's how any animal is. That's how any creature is. And we're driven by instincts, reflexes, ideas, cognition. But what if you can simulate that to such a degree you can't tell the difference? Because a lot of people strive for perfection even though it doesn't exist. We get as close as we can to it, but yet no cigar, to say the least. And where's it all going? Because I heard by 2030, we should have AGI. Artificial General Intelligence is what I believe it's called. And I was just thinking, it's not really the complex stuff that gets you, is it? You always come back to your foundation. We have a saying in sports and martial arts, you fall when it gets tough, you fall back on your training of what you've practiced, for better or worse. If you've practiced a move 1,000 times well, it should be well. Not every time, but you should have a higher chance of it. If you practice a technique poorly, it will not be where it's need to be. And that's what I keep thinking. What happens when the machine can do it more times than I ever could? And I'll admit this, when I first started getting a little worried about AI. I don't want to be a Luddite or anything, or I'm not anti-progress, because that's something AI has taught me. It's disruptive. It's not good or evil. It's disruptive. It will change things. That's the most terrifying things in the world, are change. And there's nothing you can do about it. Anybody. It's just going to happen, and we have to make peace with that. Prepare ourselves for the fallout or prosperity that comes with it. And as a writer, I don't see AI replacing me. Because my books and videos may be poorly made, but they're poorly made by my hands, my voice, my eyes, my ears, my senses, my cognition. Again, as perfect as they may be, they're still real. I don't want to write a book of lies, even though you can find truth sometimes in those. But I don't know about AI anymore. Every time I hear something new, I try to write it down and make sense of it all. Now, I have another video coming up how I see AI, what I feel about it. Okay? That should come out soon. And I hope I've given you something to think. Have a nice day.